It mostly comes down to that they don't want you to go into labor on your own because then it can become a risk. Good morning! You got a bar? Cheese! Cheese! What? What are we looking at? What, do you know what that's called?
A roly.
A roly-poly. Oh, he's so cute.
It's tiny.
He's tiny. He's like a little baby.
Take my hand.
You want me to pick him up for you? Here, open your hand. It's hard to pick him up. He's so tiny. Oh, it's okay. He just rolled up into a little ball.
Why?
They won't bite or anything. They're super sweet.
Why?
Asher's gonna get it. Good morning, you guys. That actually just reminded me. Yesterday, we were sitting out here in the afternoon and Asher came over to me. He had picked something up off the ground and I saw him pick him up and carry it over to me. I thought it was a rock. He puts it in my hand because he's like, Mama, here. And I opened up my hand and it was a bee. And so obviously I'm like, oh my gosh, because he had it like between his two front fingers. Did you pick it up?
Yeah.
Good job. Anyways, he brought it over to me and so obviously I like freaked out and I carefully like set it on the rug and then I put like a little clear cup over it and I checked and luckily its stinger was still on so he didn't get stung. I like checked his fingers just to be safe, but he just like picked up a bee from the grass somehow and brought it over to me. That's just a little flying bug. It's not gonna hurt anybody.
Why?
It's just like a little moth, I think. Anyways, our back patio is kind of a disaster right now. It really needs to be cleaned. I just don't have the energy to do it. But my plants are still going strong. They're looking good. Picked up these containers at the Dollar Tree yesterday. I think I'm gonna do some strawberries in here, see if Justin can reinforce it somehow to make it stronger. But these were like $1.25 each and they stack up. So these are perfect for some strawberry plants this year. I also grabbed at Hobby Lobby a wind chime. I've been wanting one. I can't find my Swan one that someone sent to us. Oh gosh, when was that? Probably back in 2017. I couldn't find it. I looked in all of our bins, so I picked up this one at Hobby Lobby. It was on clearance for like, I think $13 or $14. Isn't it so beautiful? I love it. We all love it. And I also grabbed a new little floor mat because I'm trying to just get ready for spring and make it look all cute. And I thought this one was cute. It was on clearance for $11 too. Ruben is obsessed with this mat.
Bee.
It's a bee! They've all been obsessed about it, but Ruben especially.
Mama, I don't like bees.
It's not real. It's just pretend.
Bee. Can we see a naughty roly-poly?
We're gonna go find one?
Yeah, can you find one?
I don't know. We'll try. Also, finally in the mail yesterday, I got in our 10-gallon pots for the garden. I decided to go with these ones. They're actually made of fabric, but they're so much cheaper than buying like ceramic ones at Lowe's or something. I got 5 of these for $13.99. They have drainage because they are fabric, and they're big. They're 10-gallon. So I got 5 of these, and we're gonna transfer plants to them in the next couple of weeks, like tomatoes, and then all those plants on the table. So I'm really excited. And now we've got to kind of tidy up the patio a little bit because I'm pretty sure that the landscapers come on Fridays. So sometimes they kind of like blow things and there's chalk everywhere and some trash that we just need to toss. I was just coming in the boys' room, I was putting their laundry away, and I decided to change it up in their room. There's not much you can do in here because there's not a lot of space. It's not like a huge bedroom and we have 2 cribs in here obviously, but this was necessary. I had to turn the cribs again. If you guys don't remember, we had the setup when the boys were a couple months old just to give them more space between each other as far as like noise control. That's not really a problem anymore, but I have a feeling that any day now, it hadn't happened yet, but any day now, someone was gonna climb from one crib to the next because their cribs were touching against that wall and they were starting to like exchange toys, exchange stuffed animals and bother each other. When one of them was sleeping, the other one would wake up and like pull on their hand or something. So they were bothering each other. It was both of them and it was becoming a problem. So I decided it was time we switched the cribs back to this direction. Luckily, and I'm assuming this is because they still wear sleep sacks, which I don't know when we're gonna transition them out of those. I think think we did Emma right around when she turned 2, but they have not tried to climb out of their cribs yet, which is I'm shocked. They're wild kids in comparison to Emma. Emma never even tried it. They haven't tried it yet either, and I really expected them to figure it out earlier on, which is a good thing because that means I can keep them in the cribs a little bit longer, keep them a little bit more safe and maintained. I also took the rug out that was in here because for some reason it just kept on scooching out from the wall and it would end up like crooked in the bedroom. It's been happening since we like literally put it in here, so I was finally done with it and we just took it out. If we figure something else out later on, that'll be good. We'll also probably end up doing, when they do switch to taller beds, either 2 side by side, kind of like this for twin beds, or eventually probably bunk beds. Also wanted to say thank you so much to everybody who messaged me on Instagram yesterday. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, I posted on my story about, there's a creator that I follow on TikTok and I love her content, but she actually just found out a couple weeks before me that she also has the complete placenta previa that I have. So I was really enjoying watching her content about it because I was learning more about it because this is the first pregnancy that I've had this, and because she's literally just like, I think she's 2 or 3 weeks ahead of me. I can easily follow like shortly behind her and experience like kind of what she's gone through and hear a different perspective. But she had her, like, I think it was her 25-week ultrasound the other day. I'm not having another one until I think he said 30 weeks. It's quite a long ways out, but she had one yesterday, I think at like 25-ish weeks, and she was saying hers has not moved yet. I think her first scan was similar to the timeline of mine, but her placenta did not move yet, which is kind of what my doctor is anticipating happening. He said it always definitely can happen where it does move, but he just, the positioning of the placenta that he saw on the ultrasound photos, he says he doesn't anticipate it moving. So I've just been trying to learn a little bit more about it, but I did not know, this was new information to me because I also don't have any friends that have had placenta previa, that if you have it, it is most hospitals or doctors standard practice that they will induce, or not induce, but have a scheduled C-section like a month early. I did not know that. I have definitely heard of people being hospitalized a couple of weeks early for bleeding from the placenta because they want to monitor it and make sure you're not losing too much blood, and also make sure baby's doing okay, so they keep you in the hospital if you start bleeding, which thankfully I am 22 weeks and I haven't had any bleeding yet. That's hopefully like a good start, but I had no clue that you have to be like, not, I keep saying induced, scheduled for a C-section that early. And I guess it's because from what I've been reading, from the messages you guys have sent me, I've just been learning a lot the last 24 hours. It mostly comes down to that they don't want you to go into labor on your own because then it can become a risk. So they want to get you scheduled for a C-section early so that you don't even go into labor, which that makes sense now that I'm like reading more about it. But I honestly had no idea. My doctor didn't mention it, and I'm assuming it's just because I'm still so early that he probably didn't want to like worry about it yet, and plans on talking to me about that the further along I get. I have an appointment with him in just a couple days, so I'll probably bring it up at that appointment and hear his like standard practice if he has a patient with placenta previa, because I'm sure that it varies from hospital to hospital, doctor to doctor. But I literally didn't know, so now I'm like, feel like I'm possibly going to be having a June baby if this placenta doesn't move, because I'm due right in the middle of July. So if she has to come a couple of weeks early, 2, 3, 4 weeks early, would put me in possibly a June due date. So I feel like I'm on more of a time crunch now. Also with the fact that I could end up having to go to the hospital if I start bleeding. My hand is being super annoying, sorry. That's just something I haven't really thought too much about. So now I'm kind of feeling like I need to get more prepared a little bit more early than I would have anticipated. Kind of like I did for the boys. The boys came at 36 weeks, which we anticipated them coming at 37. We'll see, honestly. The good news is that, like, statistically, my babies have been very big for their gestational age. So Emma was born at 39 weeks and was over 9 pounds. And the boys came early at 36.5 weeks, technically preemies. And they were each 6'2" and 6'9". Like, again, like that's like a full-sized baby, and they were like 3 or 4 weeks early. So I'm prepared that this baby will hopefully be a good size if she does end up having to come early. That's my hope, at least. And it's good because they know that it's happening. They'll be able to do steroid shots most likely to help her lungs prepare for coming out. I know that they did that with the, oh, maybe they didn't do that with the boys. I feel like they probably did because I was scheduled for a C-section at 37 weeks, and I would assume that they would have done that. I'm just not remembering right now. Either way, I did not know, so thank you guys for like the heads up, because I would have walked into that having no idea. So Justin and I got to talk about it a little bit yesterday and kind of come up with a game plan for that, because that was something that I was just not informed on yet. And I'm the type of person that likes to know that information as early on, just so that if it does happen, I'm prepared and I'm ready. And I feel more prepared now that I kind of know. From talking to you guys, it sounds like majority of people, it's 37 weeks. Some are 36 and some are 38. So it kind of varies. But yes, the baby does have to come out early so that you don't go into labor on your own. So I have a lot more to prepare for now, for the baby to probably be coming in June instead of July, which that's a couple more weeks early than I was anticipating, but you know what? It is what it is. I'm not as nervous about it as I was when we first found out about it, because I definitely don't want to be rushed in for an emergency C-section. So I'm grateful that at least we know this. We can at least plan for a C-section. It's not as stressful, although I am still hoping that the placenta moves and I can have the VBAC that I want. If baby even flips, I think she's also breech, so it's like a combination of two things, but that I still have plenty of time to not worry about. The placenta is more of an immediate concern, but I really do hope that it moves and I'm able to have a VBAC, because again, the C-section was just really hard on me. Anyways, I told you guys I'm trying to just kind of lay back a little bit more and take it easy, because I don't want to start bleeding early with the placenta. So I know a lot of these videos have just been like sit down chit chat videos. I feel like I'm having coffee with a friend when I film these kind of videos. It's like talking to you guys, and I've been messaging a lot of you guys on Instagram, and it's been really nice. But it just, until that I know that like we're in like a good zone where I don't have to worry about it if the placenta moves or whatever, I'm just trying to take it easy. And so our day-to-day life is just mostly staying home and taking care of the kids, not doing anything crazy. We do have plans to go to Disneyland next week, which I'm really excited about, but I'm honestly just gonna be walking around the park. I'm not going on the rides, especially like any of the obviously ones that you're not supposed to, but I'll be just walking around with the kids, and I'm excited to spend some time with them at Disneyland. Get it out of the way now before it gets too hot, because summertime, the baby's coming and it's gonna be 1,000,000 degrees. Also think passes don't even work in like the summertime. Anyways, I've been blabbering long enough, so thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have gone through this, again, I love reading your comments down in the comment section down below and hearing your experiences. It just makes me feel not so alone going through this, and we will talk to you again soon. Bye.